COVID norms. That has been done by the CEO of Bihar. A committee of officers was set up at the commission to chalk out broad guidelines for conducting elections amid COVID. This committee was chaired by Secretary General. And it had various stakeholders. Many of them contacted virtually. And they had detailed deliberations with the chief electoral officers of various states, UTs, just to have a feedback or various suggestions and inputs. The commission also took inputs of political parties. They were initially given some time. They wanted some more time, which was extended as they desired. And the commission has a feedback from all the political parties with us, considering all the relevant factors and circumstances and keeping in view the safety norms specified by MHA. Broad and detailed guidelines were issued by the Commission for the conduct of elections and by-elections during sometime in August 2020. These guidelines have already been adopted to Government of Bihar, and these guidelines are available on the ECI website, and I think made available to most of you by Ashifali ji. Based on these broad guidelines, CEO Bihar was asked to prepare comprehensive plans at the state, district, constituency and booth level, considering the local conditions and COVID situation. And these guidelines establish standard protocols of sanitization, wearing of masks, use of gloves, thermal scanners, and social distancing throughout the gamut of election activities. As the gradual and phased unlock has been initiated in various parts of the country, several meetings were held, as I said earlier, at the level of Secretary General ECI Shri Umesh Sinha and all other colleagues from ECI and officers of commission with officials from MHA, railways, central agencies, regarding security forces, strategic and communication measures to be put in place. I am happy to report to you that we are getting fullest cooperation from all these agencies, and I am sure, like they do it always, they'll give us their cooperation this time also, which they are already extending. The Commission has conducted several rounds of video conferences with the election machinery. A team of 2 officers, namely Shri Chandrabhushan, who is in charge of Bihar in the Election Commission, and Shri Sudeep Jain, who looks after the EVM, they were in Bihar on 14th and 15th September, and they have done extensive review of the situation on the ground by holding more than 1 meetings in Patna as well as in some selected divisional headquarters. They have reported that all necessary preparations have been made and the infrastructure of conduct of elections is well in place. Commission, as you are aware, has always been very sensitive to the persons with disability and senior citizens. We started this process way back in 17-18 by having a conference in Rajasthan, then a national level conference in Delhi, and after that we have been trying to kind of upgrade and try to do various things required for that. One of our leading consultants in this, based out of Bangalore, she herself is disabled, but at the same time she is so very meticulous in terms of making suggestions and kind of more scientific innovations, which keeps Shri Umesh Sinha and his team busy. Persons with disability, the first thing Commission has been insisting is that all polling stations should be located on the ground floor. Persons with disability would also be tagged to their respective polling stations and necessary arrangement made for their comfortable and convenient experience on polling day. Assistance of volunteers, priority voting, wheelchair and proper transport facilities shall be made available. They will be provided with a free pass on public transport on the poll day. The third meeting of the National Advisory Committee on Accessible Elections was organized recently through online mode in order to hone up and firm up our strategic action plans on accessible elections and to review preparations on accessibility front ahead of Bihar Assembly elections. The Commission guarantees assured minimum facilities, which you are all aware, at each polling station, including drinking water, toilets, waiting area, and ramps. Additionally, polling stations will now be infused with sanitizers, masks, soap, and water for rinsing and other necessary equipment to handle any health emergency. Volunteers will be deployed to assist PWD voters, senior citizens, and COVID-affected areas, as I already said. All necessary and administrative and security protocols have been put in place for EVMs and VVPATs, including randomization, FLC, movement and storage protocols, and a multi-layer security cover. The ETPBS facility will be offered to our service voters. As we talk, the MCC stands enforced with this announcement. The Commission has already made elaborate arrangements for ensuring the effective implementation of MCC guidelines. You are also aware that Honorable Supreme Court, lot of very vigilant citizen groups and the Commission itself have been very particular about this issue of criminal antecedents. Candidates with criminal antecedents are required to publish information in this regard in newspapers and TV channels on 3 occasions during the campaign period. Now it's also mandatory for political parties to upload on their website detailed information regarding individuals with pending criminal cases selected as candidates, along with reasons for such selection, as also why other individuals without criminal antecedents could not be selected. The Commission had issued a circular, I am sure you have all gone through it very thoroughly, on 11 September 2025, clarifying the earlier guidelines and updating them further. The Commission has a multi-pronged, multifaceted, comprehensive strategy for curbing the use of money power in elections through an elaborate mechanism of SSTs, FSTs and expenditure accounting. Our friends in media are also aware that we have been appointing in the last few elections, wherever required, only where required and need-based, special expenditure observers. Depending on the inputs on the field, which you already have in plenty, we shall be doing the same this time in Bihar elections, as well as, if required, in the by-elections to the states. Media has always been a very important ally for the Commission by virtue of its very proactive and positive engagement and with the electoral process and reaching out to the voter through the length and breadth of the country. Media personnel covering election activities would be requested to follow all the extant guidelines issued by the Commission and the various state governments, and the Bihar state government, in case of by-elections, various state governments. Adverse use of social media platforms has emerged as a new challenge in the recent times. As such, it is necessary that persons or organizations misusing social media or similar digital platforms are dealt with sternly and kept at bay. The Commission would like to make it emphatically clear that anyone who makes mischievous use of social media, for example, trying to foment communal tensions etc., for electoral purpose shall have to face the consequences under the law of the land. You are also aware that in the run-up to the Lok Sabha elections, a group of our officers had engaged with the media platforms and their association, and they had submitted a voluntary code of ethics to the ECI by their platforms, which most of them observed quite scrupulously. The social media platforms are expected to make adequate arrangements to safeguard against misuse of their platforms and set up strict protocols to handle such issues as and when they arise. If such arrangements are not made by them and they would not be allowed to take the pretext of being only the providers of platform and shall be held responsible if necessary action is not taken by them promptly and adequately. So, besides, Commission has also entreating the political parties and candidates to sensitize their representatives not to indulge in malpractices, malicious propaganda, hate speech, or fake news, as such acts shall be dealt with sternly, harshly by the Commission. We will be closely monitoring such activities and such posts and shall take action appropriately. You know that Commission has a full-fledged sweep division, and this time the emphasis shall be on safe elections and COVID-19 safety awareness programs, beside increasing voter turnout and ethical as well as informed decision making of the voters. Comprehensive use of print media, electronic media, radio, digital media and traditional outreach methods of voter awareness are being taken up to inform, facilitate and motivate voters. With all comprehensive arrangements made at the polling station, we hope that people, the ultimate arbiters in the democracy, shall participate with full enthusiasm and the voter turnout will be more than the previous elections. The Commission, as always, will deploy sufficient number of general, police and expenditure observers in order to keep a close watch at every stage of the election process and ensure a free and fair elections in every sense of the term. If required, as I said earlier, special observers will also be deployed for expenditure monitoring and any other law and order contingency, etc. The Commission has tried to harmonize the integrating cutting-edge technology in our election processes for the last 5-6 years, and that process is an ongoing process. Applications like Booth App and C-Vigil have simplified procedures, made data available at the click of a button, and connected ECI to every stakeholder through their mobile services. Before I finally move on to announce the schedule for Bihar Assembly elections, I would like to tell you that the Commission took various factors into consideration while deciding the election schedule. Elections entail large-scale deployment and movement of security forces from various parts of the country, and we try to minimize their movement over long distances. This is both to reduce their body fatigue as well as to kind of reduce the travel time, etc., and make them feel fresh after a day or two of rest for the election duties. The prevailing COVID situation and necessity of social distancing was also kept in mind. Care was taken that the period of elections is not unnecessarily prolonged. Hence, we have shortened the period of conduct of elections and reduced the number of phases. The number of security forces has been increased manifold to ensure peaceful elections. Another factor which has been taken into consideration was the upcoming festival season and convenience of our people. As far as the by-elections to the state assemblies are concerned, you see, we have received representations from CEOs and CEOs, Chief Secretaries and CEOs of at least 3-4 states, if not more, on various grounds seeking some deferment in their by-elections. So Commission has kept a special meeting on the coming Tuesday, that is 29th of September, only to consider those representations, after which Shri Umesh Sinha shall issue the press release of by-elections. The schedule for elections for the Legislative Council of Bihar and Karnataka, teacher and graduate segments, which were deferred by the Commission earlier due to the unforeseen situation of public health emergency, etc., from on 8 June 20 shall also be announced today in a separate press release by Dharmender and Shri Umesh Sinha. This will cover 4 teacher and 4 graduate constituencies in Bihar. Karnataka elections will be held for 2 graduate and 2 teachers constituencies. 1 MLC election of deferred Nizamabad constituency will also be announced, for which all, except the actual poll, all other electoral steps have been already concluded at the time of deferment, will be announced today afternoon along with the other by-elections for the teachers and graduates. So I think now I would like to read out the statement for which you have been sitting here. And I thank you for your patience. General elections to the Legislative Assembly of Bihar shall be conducted in 3 phases. In first phase, 71 assembly constituencies in 16 districts, including most of the LWE districts, will go for poll. It will be held in approximately 31,000 polling stations. In second phase, 94 assembly constituencies in 17 districts will go for poll. It will have approximately 42,000 polling stations. All this is going to be made digitally available to you in the next half an hour, if not more. Sorry? General elections to the Legislative Assembly of Bihar will be conducted in 3-phase elections. Is it clear? Neeraj, to you it's clear? In first phase, 71 assembly constituencies in 16 districts, including most of the LWE districts, will go for poll. It will be held in approximately 31,000 polling stations. Am I clear? Can I go next? In that I'll come to. I'm keeping some suspense. I want you to. No, this is a part of the point. I want you to stay with us for some more time. In second phase, 94 assembly constituencies in 17 districts will go for poll. It will have approximately 42,000 polling stations. In third phase, 78 assembly constituencies in 15 districts will go for poll. It will have approximately 15 districts. Third phase, 78 assembly constituencies in 15 districts will go for poll. It will have approximately 33.5 thousand polling stations. 10 districts will have 2 phases of elections for logistical reasons. 28 districts will have single-phase elections. Patna and Bhagalpur districts will have elections in the first as well as second phase. 8 districts, namely Darbhanga, Madhubani, पूर्वा चंपारण, पश्चिम चंपारण, मुजफ्फरपुर, वैशाली, समस्तीपुर and Sitamarhi will have elections in second and third phases. 8 districts, namely Darbhanga, Madhubani, Purva Champaran, Paschim Champaran, Muzaffarpur, Vaishali, Samastipur and Sitamarhi will have elections in second and third phases. So now, without further, keeping you in more suspense, issue of notification. First phase, 1st October. Am I clear? Last date of nomination, now I am reading only first phase, right? When I come to second phase, I will mention that. First phase, issue of notification, 1st October. Last date of notification, 8th October. Is it right? Scrutiny of nominations, 9th October. Is it clear? Last date of withdrawal of candidature, 12th October. Date of poll, 28th October. Counting of votes, 10th November, but that will be for all the phases, right? With your permission, 10th November. Can I now go to second phase, please? You there? Okay. Issue of notification, 9th October. Last date of nomination, 16th October. Whenever you want me to repeat, I will repeat, gladly repeat. Scrutiny of nomination, 17th October. Last date of withdrawal of candidature, 19th October. Date of poll, 3rd November. Counting, as I said earlier, 10th November. Shall I go to third phase, please? Sorry? Shall I go to third phase? Issue of notification, 13th October. 13th October, 13 October. Last date of nomination, 20th October, 20 October. Scrutiny of nomination, 21 October, 21st October. Last date of withdrawal of candidature, 23rd October, 23 October. Date of poll, 7th November, 7th November. Counting of votes, 10th November. Now, I would throw the floor open for...
If you have your questions, please announce your name and organization before you...
Only
One
request is one by one, please.
Sure, sir.
And
We'll
as
begin
she
with,
calls
just a
them.
minute, we'll begin with this.
सर मोहित दुबे न्यूज नेशन से बोल रहा हूं मैं। सर जहां तक बिहार विधानसभा चुनाव की बात है, आपने कहा कि ऐतिहासिक ये चुनाव होने जा रहा है कोरोना महामारी के दौरान। अगर हम आपने जो उत्तरी बिहार के बारे में बात की, पूर्वी चंपारण, पश्चिमी चंपारण, वैशाली, दरभंगा, जितने भी जिले हैं, बाढ़ प्रभावित ये इलाके हैं। सर आपको नहीं लगता था कि इन इलाकों में और फेजेस कराए जा सकते थे? चुनाव आपको लगता है कि 3 ही फेज में मुकम्मल हो सकता है?
देखिए, बाढ़ का जो फेज है, इट इज ऑन द वेनिंग साइड. इट वॉज ऑन द राइजिंग साइड, इट इज ऑन द वेनिंग साइड. जब हमारे अधिकारी गए थे, इन्होंने सेवरल पॉइंट्स पे मीटिंग ली थी, इसमें बाढ़ प्रभावित भी था. लेकिन जैसा मैंने पहले आपको निवेदन किया कि इसमें फोर्सेस का मूवमेंट, और जिस बात को मैं बार बार कहना चाहता हूं कि 30,000 पोलिंग स्टेशन अकेले बढ़ने से कितना ज्यादा पोलिंग पर्सनल प्लस सेफ्टी प्रोटोकॉल्स प्लस सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस का इन्वॉल्वमेंट हुआ, ये सब देख के किया गया.
सर इसी से जुड़ा हुआ एक
आज ही अभी यहाँ आने से पहले आपको बता दूं, मेरे पास मैसेज आया. इस बार वैद्यनाथन जी का नहीं आया, नॉर्मली ये मैसेज ऐसा भेज देते होते हैं कि आज ही माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में
जी,
maybe I didn't read, I apologize. That सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में पुनः